Good morning. Hello, welcome to a seated yoga class this Thursday morning. I don't think we have anyone. Oh yes, we have someone. Hello, good morning. Seated yoga this morning for Be Healthy Together. We are going to, as usual, be doing a very gentle, completely seated yoga class this morning, and good bit of stretching through the whole body for you, and a bit of breathing and relaxation towards the end of the class. Breathing to begin with. So all you need to do this class, if you have never joined us before, is a chair, preferably without any arms. So I don't know if you can see that behind me. I'm just using a really ordinary chair, and I have a block in front of my chair as well because I have slightly shorter legs, you want to be able to sit very comfortably on your chair with your feet flat on the ground. So if you find that your feet are on tiptoes, then just grab a block or a couple of big books or something that you can rest your feet on as you sit in your chair. So I'm just going to give it a little moment for anyone to join us who is joining us live this morning for this class on the Facebook page. If you are joining us on a catch-up, then welcome to you too, wherever you are in your day or your week. And I hope you enjoy this gentle yoga class this morning. You can wear anything for this class, so just comfortable clothes that you can move a little bit and stretch in, and you don't need any special props or equipment today. Just going to do a gentle stretch. So I'll begin. I'll head to my chair. Don't forget that you can always watch this on catch-up if that's easier for you. But if you are joining us live this morning, good morning, then send us a little message to know let us know you're here. Hi, and enjoy the class. So just giving it a moment for anyone else to join us, but for those of you who are already here or waiting in the class, just find a comfortable sitting position in your chair. So if you sit slightly forward, morning, just so that your back isn't slouched against the chair. So often when we sit in a chair, we just tend to slouch back in it, don't we? But actually for this class, mostly, we want to be finding a fairly upright seated position. So who have we got joining us here? I'm just going to have a little look. Pat and Justina. Good morning, it's lovely to have you. I hope you're very well and enjoying the glorious sunshine. It's quite bright in this room this morning. Taking a little time out of your day to join me in this yoga practice, this seated yoga practice. So that's lovely. Welcome and thank you. So yeah, I was just saying that we want in this class to be seated fairly upright. So take a moment to find that comfortable place. Adjust your chair, adjust your seat. Make sure that perhaps there's a little distance between your back and the back of the chair. Have your feet either flat on the ground, or if you feel that only your toes are going to reach the ground, then perhaps grab a big book or something that you can rest your feet on. They'll be quite flat. When we do the class, I have these blocks on the ground, but see, they're only about as wide as a big book, so a big book will do if, like me, you have slightly shorter legs. So feet flat on that, or the ground if you have lovely long legs. And your hands just resting in your lap. So we want to be comfortable to begin this class. And as we just start to bring our attention away from whatever has been going on for you this morning, perhaps you've had breakfast, been out of the house already, or done lots of jobs, or perhaps you've just rolled out of bed to get here. We'll all be feeling different things and coming to this practice in our own way, with our own emotions and the way that our own individual body physically feels as well. So I'm aware that some of us may have specific physical issues or are recovering from injury, just feeling the usual aches and pains of life. So as I'm not with you and I can't see each of your individual bodies and know your own needs, please just take care of yourself. So please feel free to just draw back on any part of the stretching holds and poses that we do in this class, or the movements. Adapt them for your own body. On any given day, your body might feel able to do a particular stretch or not. So just go easy on yourself and push yourself to the limit of what you know you can comfortably do. We don't want to ever go into a place of pain. And if you're experiencing pain, then just take a break or draw back and take a gentler form of the pose. So hopefully by now you're all sitting upright in your chair, ready to begin this seated yoga class. And we'll turn our attention to our breath, as we always do at the beginning of a practice, because breath is really so important for this practice. Connecting our movement to our breath is a way of really inviting a sense of calm, steadiness and ease into the body, and helps us focus, helps us to hold poses. So perhaps you're already able to slow your breath down a little. And let's bring one hand, doesn't matter which hand, onto the belly and one hand onto the chest. And just make that connection with yourself, your own body. So feel your belly, your chest beneath the palms of your hands. Fingers can be spread wide. Just lightly hold those places and notice if you perhaps feel any movement as you breathe. Perhaps a rising of the chest or an expanding of the belly as you breathe in. And then as you breathe out, a falling away perhaps. Just a lowering of the chest, a drawing in of the belly. And perhaps towards the end of your exhale, you can even intentionally draw your tummy in a little, just to further expel all of the stale air from your lungs. If it's comfortable for you today to breathe through your nose, in and out, then do that. But if that's not comfortable for you, then just lightly part your lips. You want to keep that air as warm as possible as it moves around our body. This kind of sealing the lips seals in the energy of that breath moving around us. We can imagine our breath almost as our life force as we sit here calmly breathing together. Just if your arms are tiring, bring them to your lap. If you're enjoying feeling that sensation of rising and falling, then feel free to keep your hands placed on your chest and your belly. Make that choice for yourself. Perhaps you'd like to close down your eyes and further invite that focus of attention inward. Just drop the chin ever so slightly to your chest. Remind yourself to sit up straight, so we're sitting with as good a posture as we know how. Holding ourselves upright and creating as much space in this middle section of our body as we can. relax the muscles around your belly. So they're able, that part of you is able to expand with every inhale. Notice how that feels to breathe. Notice how the air feels as it enters your body, and then again how it feels as it leaves your body, perhaps a little warmer. With your exhale, relax your shoulders so that you really begin to feel the benefits of your breath. Perhaps you can hear the sound of your breath. You might even like to say the word relax to yourself as you breathe out, having that sense of letting go or release of tension with every exhale. And today, as we move through this class, we're really going to focus on our own individual needs, on making those choices for our own bodies and for our own sense of well-being as we move through this practice. So if it suits you to take a break at any point and just rest and watch or listen, then please feel free to do that. But equally, if you feel that you need to really push yourself this morning and feel every part of your body stretching to its full capacity, then listen to your body's needs, but enjoy that practice. With your next few breaths, begin to invite a little bit of movement into the neck. So whether you have your eyes closed or open, just begin to take some circles with the neck. So perhaps small circles to begin with. Moving slowly and feeling into all those nooks and crannies of the neck. Perhaps you're not long up this morning and you haven't moved your neck yet. So relax your shoulders as you do this and enjoy that sensation of really moving the neck, maybe fully for the first time today. Keep breathing as you do this. Perhaps breathing in as your head comes up one side and out as it moves down the other side. And then the next time that your chin is down at your chest, there's no rush to get there. So moving slowly, just leave it there for a moment. Let's clasp the hands in front of us and stretch the arms out away from us so that we increase the space in the back of the body, the upper back of the body, between the shoulder blades, the back of the neck, and imagine when you breathe in that you're sending your breath into that space that you're creating there. Feel it expand. Then as you breathe out, relax the arms back into the lap, lift the chin slowly, and let's begin to circle the neck back in the other direction. So again, just quite small circles to begin with. But if you feel really good in this movement, then you can turn the head from side to side as you look up, breathe in, bring it down the other side, really feeling into that full range of movement in your neck, but moving slowly. So being gentle with your neck. Even a big, deep stretch can be gently done, sensitive to the needs of the body. So one more big circle. As you exhale, bring the chin down to the chest. Leave it there for a moment. Make that clasp of the hands again and stretch out, making the space between the shoulder blades big. Breathe into the back of the neck and the space between your shoulder blades. Lovely. And then release the fingertips. Bring the chin up to look just up ahead of you. Maybe take hold of the back of the chair. You might want to slide a little forward in your chair to do this. and then open up the front part of the chest. This might feel particularly good after we've done those forward bending stretch there. Opening up the space at the front of the body here, looking just a little up ahead of you. And then imagine that you're breathing into this wide space here. Collarbones are separating, the shoulders are coming apart. And you're expanding the chest as you breathe in. Feel a release of tension as you breathe out, a little bit of softening through the body. One more breath there, lovely. And then release that. Bring hands back to the lap, and then let's make that space, height space in the spine again as we sit up nice and straight. This time just begin to draw the tummy muscles in slightly. So we're just engaging the core muscles there. Feet flat on the ground. We're going to begin to just take some small circles. So just feeling into, again, the spine and the waist here. Not going too deep at the moment. Just inviting a little bit of movement in. A few in one direction and then a few back the other way. So keep the breath going as you do this as well. Again, maybe breathing in as you come forward and out as you come back. Notice how this feels to breathe, and perhaps your sit bones against the chair, just moving through each hip, each sit bone as you begin to circle. Lovely. Lovely, then just come to stillness again. Lovely. We'll inhale, send the arms wide and all the way up, and look up at the arms. Big breath in when our arms are stretched up overhead. If it's too much for you to have your arms straight or you have shoulder pain, then just make it a gentler stretch. So again, making that choice for your own body there. But looking up towards the hands, really inviting that length into the spine. And exhale to bring the hands down through heart center and then down beside the body. So arms down alongside the body. Lift up the shoulders and roll them back and down the body. Have palms face forward. And then invite a gentleness to this seated position here in seated Tadasana, our mountain pose. Just keep that lovely steady breath going that you've cultivated in the beginning part of this practice. Hopefully making a little bit more space in that core center of your body. Feel the crown of your head lifting up towards the ceiling. And your sit bones down so that this space between here and your sit bones is as big as you can make it. And then we're still breathing into this space, into our belly, into our chest. With every exhale, releasing tension. Lovely. Inhale again and send the arms wide again. Once more, look up. This time, as we breathe out, we'll reach forward. Bringing the palms down towards the ground with a nice straight back and rounding down then over the legs. And just taking a moment here with a rounded spine. Hands don't have to come all the way down to the ground or your feet. They might be higher up. Breathe into the space in your rounded out back here. And then slowly walk the hands up the legs so that we come back up to sitting. Well done. And we're going to lean our back against the chair. Take one foot out in front of you and begin to turn the ankle. So bringing that flexibility into this ankle joint, you can involve the toes in this rotating movement, but keep the breath going. Slow it down, we'll go back the other way for a few turns. Just noticing how that ankle feels. If you have any fluid build up in the ankle, this is a really good movement to do as many times a day as you can. can when you're sitting in your chair. Release that ankle, foot to the floor. We'll do that on the other side. So taking some twists with that other ankle. Look towards your foot as you do this so that you just keep that focus on your body and the movement of your body and your breath and how your breath is connecting to that movement. Lovely, slowing it down and then moving that back in the other direction. Perhaps one ankle feels a bit different to the other one. Lovely, I'll leave that there. Come to sitting up straight again. And we'll stretch out that first leg. So stretching down the back of that leg, bring the heel to the ground. You'll need to sit quite far forward for this. Flexing the toes up towards you and sitting up really as straight as you can here. Bring both hands to that bent leg. Big breath in, and then as you breathe out, a little lean forward. You might not go very far, maybe just a few inches, but we're bending from the hips here, so keeping quite a straight spine. Your spine is never completely straight. It has, four curves, natural curves in it anyway. And we want to keep that neutral spine as we bend forwards here, so not rounding down or overly arching the back. Just keeping that natural curve of your spine. Keep breathing and notice where you feel this stretch, and imagine that you're sending your breath into that part of your body, maybe the back of your leg, maybe the front of the shin there. Inhale, come to sit back up straight and bring that leg in towards you. Nice breath in and release. Maybe with a sigh just to release any tension, and then we'll stretch out the other leg in the same way. So bringing that heel to the ground, toes flexed up towards you. Sitting up nice and straight. Lovely. Bring both hands to that bent leg. Big breath in as you breathe out. A little lean forwards here. We don't have to lean very far forwards to feel an increase in that stretch, in that straightened out leg there. Draw in your core muscles here, so begin to engage them when we're holding a stretch like this. That's going to have a supportive effect on your spine, all these core muscles working, especially protecting your lower spine. Keep drawing those toes up towards yourself. Heel is coming down. A couple more breaths here as you hold this pose. Lovely. Inhale, bring yourself back up to sitting. Bring that foot back in. Lovely. We'll take the feet just a little wider here and still sitting quite far forward on the chair. Begin to take some windscreen wiper movements with the knees, just from side to side. Quite gently at the moment, just bringing that flexibility into the hips. Once we've loosened up the hips in this way, we're going to just do a little bit of work with the hips. So if you have any particular hip issues, any pain in the hips, you're waiting for a hip replacement or you've had one, certainly within the last 6 weeks, I think that's very unlikely at the moment actually. More likely that you're waiting for one if you do have hip issues, I think, with everything that's going on. But if that is you, then take this next section of the stretching exercises really, really gently, or maybe just take a break. Sit up straight and just breathe nice and deeply as we work a little with the hips. So bringing the feet flat again on the ground in front of you, knees just a little apart. I'm going to bring one knee up towards us, squeezing it in there. And as you do that, you can take a couple more circles with the ankle in either direction. Sometimes can feel quite nice to have that bit of movement as you're hugging that knee in towards yourself. Lovely. And then bring that leg up and cross that ankle over the bent knee. Flex the toes up towards you here, and then allow that knee just to drop out. So it might still be quite upright, that's fine, but just allow it to drop. Sit up as straight as you can. If you have your foot on a block at this point, it might be helpful just to release it, because that's going to lower that base for your ankle to cross just a little bit more. So foot, comes down to the floor. That leg folded over. Notice how that feels in your hip. If you're feeling pain at this point, then uncross that leg and take a break. Sit up nice and straight. And we're going to hinge forward as we did when our leg was out straight there. So nice breath in. As you breathe out, a few inches of leaning forward, just intensifying that stretch down the outside of that hip there. Notice how that feels and keep breathing. Keep a nice generous flex in that foot. Lovely. Inhale, come to sitting back up straight. And we're going to take a twist here. So clasping both hands around that knee and drawing it a little bit up and in towards you. You can relax your foot at this point. Sitting up nice and straight, and then as you breathe out, turning towards that held up knee, just turning your body around, maybe turning your head a little, inviting that twist, and really maybe encouraging that sense of stretching down the outside of that hip. A couple of breaths there. Draw in the core muscles in your tummy here. Couple more breaths. Lovely. And then come back round to center. Take hold of that shin and again hug that knee in towards you. You can release tension in the ankle as you do that. Well done. Keep holding it there. It might not be right up against your chest, but it is somewhere in front of you and you're holding on to it. But sit up nice and straight. Really engage the core muscles here. So I want to draw up the pelvic floor. Draw in the core muscles, and then let's challenge ourselves this morning. We'll stretch out one arm away from us. Big breath in and release. Now, intentionally hold that leg up as you stretch the other arm out. Doesn't have to be for very long. Hold it there. Take a couple of breaths. You're working really hard, holding that leg up. Well done. Keep breathing as you do this. Well done. Keep the arms out and see if you can straighten that leg away from you. So maybe you can push the heel away, flex the toes up just for a short while, and then release it. Give a little wobble of those legs. Big breath in and a sigh out. Just, get rid of the tension. Lovely. And then we'll do that on the other side. So big breath in, a sigh out. Just release any tension. And then bringing that opposite foot, ankle up, fold it over that thigh. Keep that flex in that foot of that bent leg. Sitting up really nice and straight here. Big breath in. Slowing the breathing down again. So bringing that focus back into the body. And then as you breathe out, a little reach forward with that flat back, so keeping the natural curves in the spine rather than rounding through the spine or arching the back. Just looking down at the ground ahead of you here and noticing where you feel that stretch. Noticing how it feels for your hip. Perhaps it feels very different on this side. Inhale, come back, sitting up straight. And then clasp the hands around that knee, draw it up and in towards you a little. You can relax the foot, sitting up straight, and then we'll turn our body in that twist towards that bent up leg and notice how that changes the stretch. If that feels painful for you, ease out of it a little. So only go as far towards your edge of comfort as feels right for your individual body. That'll be different for each one of us. Lovely. Inhale, back to center. And then release that leg and draw it, hug it into you. I realise we didn't do this at the beginning of this, but we'll do it now. We'll take a few circles with that ankle in one direction and then the other. Keep squeezing it in. Lovely. And then let's do the challenge, the really challenging hold. So this time we stretch out one arm away from us. It doesn't matter which side, we're just going to do the other one. Really give ourselves that challenge. Hold that knee and sit up straight. Draw the core muscles in towards yourself. A couple of big breaths. Focus on the breath. Hold the knee up and then see if you can straighten that leg out in front of you. Straighten through the leg. Push the heel away. Draw the toes up. Keep sitting up straight. Stretching the arms out. One more breath. Lovely, and release that leg to the ground. Give the feet a little stamp, the legs a jiggle. Big breath in and a sigh out. Lovely. And then separate the feet and we'll do those windscreen wiper movements. So come far forward on your chair. If you're in a wheelchair and that's difficult for you, this will be a gentler movement side to side. Perhaps with feet resting on your foot plates or back again on the block if you want to. But if you're able to sit forward and have your legs a little wider on the ground, then do that. And we'll just begin to increase this windscreen wiper movement. So this time maybe even lifting a sit bone off the chair and bringing the knee down a little further, turning to each side as we do that. I don't think we've really done this movement before, so go easy. And as you take these sort of windscreen wiper movements with the knees, you can begin to feel into how far you want to go for your whole body. It might be for you that just a really gentle windscreen wiper movement for your hips is enough. But if you're feeling quite energetic and stretchy this morning, perhaps you're really beginning to almost straighten out that back leg as you turn and lift the hip from the chair. So you can enjoy that stretch out, turning from one side to the other and really kind of connecting your whole body here, so turning the upper body as well as you go. You'll probably need to be on the balls of your feet to do this. You might be moving a little more quickly or a little more slowly than me. But keep that breath going. Lovely. So we'll do a few more turns of this, just inviting that movement into the body, into the hips. As you breathe in with every stretch to the side, feel that expansion through your chest. Lovely. And then come to sitting back, forward, toe, heel, feet together. If you lost your block through that, just grab it back and bring the feet flat onto the ground, the block, your book, whatever you have in front of you there. Lovely. And then we'll bring that movement, keep that movement going through the spine with our cat-cow movement. So inhaling, open up the chest, invite a little bit of a back bend by kind of raising the chin and looking up and forward, opening that space at the front of the body. As we exhale, tucking everything in, rounding out through the back, drop the chin, make space in the back with that exhale. Inhale and exhale. And then keep this movement going. And if you enjoy this movement and you want to make it more expansive, as you inhale, you can open your arms, really open the chest. Exhale. Bring the arms back in as you drop the chest and round the back. Drop chin to chest. Inhale. And exhale. Feel that sense of release with every exhale there. Inhale, really breathe into that expansion in the front of the body. Exhale, moving that breath to the back of the body, feeling that sense of release as everything draws into the center. Lovely. On your next exhale, at the end of that, just leave it there for a moment. Make that clasp of the hands again and stretch them out away from you. So really making that space in the back of the body as big as you can. Take a couple of extra breaths here. Notice how that feels for your spine, dropping your chin to the chest. Lovely. And then slowly come to back up to sitting. Lean your upper back against the chair, still sitting forward, and then open the arms out wide. So depending on the back of your chair, mine's a little bit awkward with this back bit, so I'm going to have to open my arms quite wide, but you maybe are able to have your arms wider, a little lower down. And then begin to look up, so that we're just in a more relaxed version of this open chest stretch here. Stretching the front of the body, opening the arms. Couple of breaths there, not letting our head fall backwards, which is going to put a bit too much strain on our neck, so holding the neck up. Lovely. One more breath. Release it and come to sitting back up straight. So slowly bringing yourself back up straight, arms in the lap. Big breath in and a sigh out. Notice how that feels, having moved the spine and the hip section. We've worked on our core as well there. We're going to do a little bit more work on the core just now. So as we're sitting up straight here, raising one arm and one leg, and then straighten out that leg and bring it down. So opposites here, raising one leg and the opposite arm, bringing it down. So it's almost as if we're kind of walking, marching, but in a very exaggerated fashion. Engage all the muscles in your core to do this. So holding yourself upright. Well done, it's hard work today. Yeah. Stretch, release. Keep the breath going. So breathing in as you stretch. Out as you release. One more each side. Well done. And then release. Inhale. Send the arms wide and up. Look up. As you exhale, reaching forward. Rounding down over the legs. And then slowly coming all the way back up. So we're not stopping at the bottom there at the moment. Lovely. Let's just release any tension in the shoulders before we flow through that movement again. So inhale, draw the shoulders up to the ears. Draw them back towards each other, and as you breathe out, release them down the back. And we'll do that a few times. Lovely, and then back the other way. So sometimes it's nice to open the palms up, bend at the elbows and squeeze the shoulder blades together as you breathe in at the very bottom of the shoulder blades. Breathe in, lift them up the back and then forward and breathing out as you bring them down. Relax that. Let's give the arms a good shake out. The wrists, give the wrists a turn in either direction. Oh, I've got lots of clicks going on in my wrists today. Obviously haven't done this yet today. move my fingers as well with that movement, just to really release all those pockets of air, lactic acid that builds up in our joints, in our muscles, when we don't use them. Well done. Another good shake. Well done. And then have the arms down beside the body. We're going to warm up our shoulders a little bit more. So we'll take this marching movement. If to set off, you can just begin to swing the arms gently in one direction and the other, swapping them over. And then we're going to keep going, but we're going to move slowly on this. So the front, so slow it right down. When you've got that movement, one arm comes back, one arm comes forward. They meet at the top and they keep going, keep going, keep going, back in the opposite direction. So we're kind of windmilling the arms. Breathe in as the arms come up. Breathe out as they come down the other side. Well done. In and out. One more. In and out. Slow it down, and then we'll swap that back the other way. So we go marching back in the other direction, bring them up. This can be tricky. It's a good workout for the brain as well. We're keeping the torso as straight as we can, and really this movement is coming from the shoulders. Making that choice for your body. So if this feels too intense, having the arms straight, and too intense on the shoulders, just make it a smaller movement. So we're making the windmill movement much smaller with maybe bent arms. Lovely. I've lost completely where I am with that, but I think we've probably done as many equal number on each side now. So bring the arms, hands just back into the lap. Remind yourself to sit up straight. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Crown of the head lifts up towards the ceiling. Bring the arms down alongside the body in our Tadasana, mountain pose. Just dropping the chin ever so slightly towards the chest and taking a couple of really deep breaths here. Just kind of bringing that center of attention back inward into the center of yourself. And feel the ground beneath your feet here. Lovely. Then inhale as you stretch your arms out wide. Bring the palms together up overhead. Look up. As you breathe out, stretching forward with that flat back from the hips. And then rounding down over the legs. Breathe in and come up to halfway. So we're just looking forward here, holding onto the shins perhaps and opening up that chest. And then as we breathe out again, rounding down over the legs. I'm aware that you might be taking more breaths and not moving quite as with such slow breath as I'm describing, but that's fine. When you're down, rounded down over the legs, we're going to leave the left hand down there. And on your next inhale, open that right arm out to the side and then maybe up overhead behind you. And look up towards that hand. So work on opening up that shoulder. If the arm's out to the side, that's fine. Lovely. Next exhale, bring that hand back down to the ground or just down where it's resting on your leg. And inhale, open on the other side. For me, it's my left arm. Taking a couple of breaths here out to the side. Or that arm working up behind you, opening up that left shoulder. Lovely. Exhale, bring that hand back down and then inhale, push through the feet, send the arms wide and up, back up overhead, look up. Exhale, bring the hands back to heart center. Well done. And then back to your Tadasana mountain pose. We'll do that once more. Inhale. Exhale, stretch all the way forward. Halfway lift. Look forward and then round down again. Breathe out. Inhale, open that right arm. Exhale, bring it down to the ground. Inhale, the other side opens. Exhale, bringing it down. Inhale all the way back up. And exhale, reset. Feel free to take a break here, but I'm going to move through that once more. Breathing in, reaching forward. Halfway opening lift, and then bending forward again. Breathe in, open up to the right. Breathe out, come back to the center. Breathe in, open up to the left. Breathe out, come back to center. And then breathe in, come all the way back up. Exhale, bring hands back to heart center. And this time we'll leave them there for a moment. Just pressing the palms together at your heart center. Elbows out to the side, sitting up nice and straight. Perhaps you'd like to close down your eyes just at this moment. If you feel a little dizzy, this can be a good, after moving like that, can be a good time just to refocus on your breath. Maybe take a big clearing breath of a big breath in and then a sigh out. Feel everything slow down again. Well done. And then release the hands into the lap. We're going to come into our resting pose. So just allowing the feet to separate now on the ground and bringing the back into the back of the chair, back connected with the back of the chair. Allow your hands to just relax in your lap now. And then find a resting place where you are completely comfortable in your chair. Begin to slow down your breathing again, or rather soften your breathing. So we're not deepening the breath here, rather we're just letting it become very light so that you don't have to put any effort into breathing. It can flow in and out of your body almost unnoticed as you take this rest. Notice how your body feels at this point. And begin to feel it becoming quite heavy in the chair. So if you did that stretching movement towards the end of that practice, we'll allow our muscles to reap the benefits from that now as we allow them to rest and restore and strengthen. Just allow your chin to drop slightly towards your chest. If you have any tension in your face, then give your jaw a wiggle. Maybe screw your face up and then release all those tiny muscles around your eyes, your cheekbones, your jaw. You might like to close down your eyes. We'll take a little pause from speaking as we all take a rest together for a couple of minutes. And then I'll bring our practice to a close. Once we've had our Shavasana, our rest. If you're enjoying this rest, then please feel free to just switch off and stay resting for as long as your body needs. But otherwise, begin to just deepen your breath once again. And keep your eyes closed if they have been. Listen to any sounds that you can hear just as you slowly begin to bring your attention back into the space that you're in and into your body again. So maybe begin to take some movement with your fingers, your toes, and then turn the wrists, lift the feet alternately from the ground, maybe turn your head from side to side. Nod it up and down, and then take a big stretch through the whole body. A really big breath in, and then as you sigh out, coming to sit back up straight. If you have your eyes closed, you can still keep them closed. Just keep that focus of attention in towards yourself, just as we finish the practice. And you can finish the practice with your hands just resting lightly in your lap as you sit up straight, or bring palms together at heart center. And just have that final moment of inward reflection before you go into the rest of your day, whatever that holds for you. Notice how you feel after practicing like that, moving the body. Big breath in and a sigh out. And everything that is light in me greets everything that is light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me, everybody. We say namaste at the end of a practice just as a sign of mutual love and respect for everybody that has been practicing together. So to you, whether you're practicing in your home right now with me, or whether you have watched this on a catch-up, namaste to you, and I hope that you have a good rest of the day and enjoyed that. If you have any questions about any of the movements or poses that we did, then please feel free to ask questions. I'll try and respond to them after this class, but otherwise enjoy the rest of your day, and I will hopefully see you again next week. Okay, lots of love. Bye bye.